let me help you not have terrible New Year's resolutions. What's a terrible New Year's resolution? It is that quote from Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I'm just pretending to know how to say that right. A goal without a plan is just a wish. That's what we do so much with New Year's resolutions. We make this goal. I'm going to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to be more mindful. I'm going to save $5,000. And we don't execute any sort of plan at all. Okay, so these are bad setups for New Year's resolutions. Okay, let's say the lose 30 pounds. Okay, first of all, that's a huge goal. It is so huge. So we try to put it into smaller pieces like, oh, I'm going to eat better. Well, that's undefined. Oh, I'm going to work out more. Well, we really haven't created a plan at all with that. Okay, so let's go with our lose weight, get healthier, that kind of plan for just a second. So one thing that I see people do a lot is we have this gigantic goal and we only win if we make it to that. We only win if we win the whole Super Bowl, right? Well, no, there should be quite a few wins, in fact, more wins than losses to make it there. So I'm a huge advocate of creating small wins, getting some momentum going, and continuing with better systems. So to me, we are this is what John Acuff says, we're the CEO of our input, not our outcomes, right? We are in charge of what we do, but not in charge of what we get. So if we say that with let's say with the physical health, right? I'm in charge of the amount of workouts I have scheduled, right? I'm in charge of that. I'm in charge of the amount of reps that I do during a workout. I'm in charge of what I eat, right? But I'm not in charge of my weight entirely, right? Like, if that were the case, I think this weight thing would be cured. Like, hey, you do these 3 steps and you lose exactly 4 pounds. But that's not ever going to be the case. We have water weight, we have the time at which we track it, all those kind of variables in play that make weight something that is hard to have as a system plan. Okay, so instead, what I love to do, this is how I meet my physical fitness goals. Okay, is I track the number of reps that I do. Now, it took me a while to get to this point, but let me tell you why I feel like it's so important. During COVID, I had gained about 30 pounds. COVID plus, we'll say sympathy weight, because when my wife was pregnant, and she wanted a Dairy Queen Blizzard, I had to take one for the team, right? So I had gained some weight and I knew I wanted to make some changes, but I had a new baby. It was COVID. I was not joining a gym. Yeah, all those kind of factors were there. So I decided I was going to do something just really small to get myself started. And the first thing that I did was I wrote down a sticky note, a bright pink sticky note that I put on my mirror in my bathroom, and it said, do 10 push-ups. That's all. I started with that. And so in the morning, whenever I would wake up, I would get up and I would do those 10 push-ups. And as this progressed, I realized, hey, doing 10 push-ups in the morning kind of wakes my heart up, wakes my mind up a little bit. There's an added benefit to this. Like, there's something satisfying about it. It's becoming more attractive to me rather than like, ugh, right? So I started doing those more often, more frequently. So fast forward to 2023, I did 70, it was over 73,000 reps. Let me see if I have that number. I don't have it right here. Sorry. But it was 73,000 and some odd reps. This year, I did track that number so far, which, I mean, here's the thing. It's December 30th whenever I'm recording this, so I doubt that I'll get many more than this. But this year's total reps, 78,570. Okay. You know what I didn't track? My weight. Like, yeah, I measured myself, but I didn't have a certain weight loss goal. I had a rep count. And by the way, I also didn't have a rep count goal. I didn't say I need to surpass 73,000 from last year, because then it would feel scary to me. It would feel like each rep was a struggle to catch up to last year's me, rather than greater than 0. I love goals that are just, all I need to do is get greater than 0. I need to do one positive thing. So that's one way that I will track my physical fitness. Another way is I will always on Wednesday afternoons from 1 to 3 have that carved out for a workout time. My plan too is to make Mondays also be a workout day. So that should be happening about mid-January. So I'll have that enabled. So those things, here's the thing. I don't know how much weight I'm going to lose. I don't know how much muscle mass I'm going to gain. I don't know any of that bit of information because I don't have a specific goal. But if I go to the gym 80 times, 90 times, am I going to be healthier? Yeah, I better, right? I better. If I do another, let's keep on track with the 70,000 reps, am I going to be healthier? Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be stronger. I feel stronger than I have ever felt before. And I have one more small physical wellness goal, and that is just make 3 healthy choices a day. And so I keep it on my phone. There's a little habit tracker. I think it's just called Habit, by the way. But with it, just make 3 healthy choices. And so I made one today, and that was bring my lunch. Right? It's as simple as that. It is less than 0. Check. I did one healthy choice. Sometimes it is, hey, I'm not going to have an alcoholic drink tonight. That was a healthy choice. Or, hey, I maybe wanted to get a second plate of food and I didn't, right? That was a healthy choice. Or I went to McDonald's and I got, instead of getting a large Coke, I got a water with my meal. That was a healthy choice, right? So those kind of things that I just add those, right? And if I do 3 healthy choices a day and we times that by a year, that's going to be over 900 to 1,000 healthy choices. Am I going to be healthier at the end of year 2025? Definitely. Definitely. Right? And again, I don't have this weight loss goal or anything like that, but I just have system goals in place here. So we have that. I want to add a few things. So each year I read Atomic Habits twice. I read it once in January and once in September. And then I read Finish by Jon Acuff. Atomic Habits is by James Clear. Finish by Jon Acuff, which helps me kind of get through my perfectionism tendencies. Like I want to be perfect on these goals. And whenever I'm not, how do I not completely derail? And with that, let me add a few insights that I got from them. So one with James Clear in Atomic Habits, he talks about forming a habit. And so we want 4 things. We want to make it obvious. We want to make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. Okay? Obvious, attractive, easy, satisfying. Let me just visually show you how I do that. This is going to be my clients for the year. So I have behind me on this board here my Finish 2024 calendar. And with it, I write down at the end of the day or at the end of each week how many clients that I saw. So with that, I go and I counted them. So all this, again, make it obvious. Well, hello, giant 3-foot sign here, right, in my office. Every time I see myself on the mirror, I'm seeing it. Make it attractive. I like it. I like seeing it. I like seeing the results. It's easy. All I have to do is write a number at the end of the day, right? So all these kind of things here. And in total, how many clients did I serve this past year? Well, I served 1,124 clients, or client hours. We'll call it client hours. I'm succeeding. I'm doing well. How many speaking gigs did I have? Well, after each speaking gig, I go and I put it up here. So the last one was on December 17th, and it was my December 10th, and it was my Bully-Proof Vest presentation, and that was the 17th speaking gig of the year, right? So I'm writing these things down, and with that, that's allowing me to be able to complete some of the goals that I had set out for the year. I also set out on how much money I would like to make and surpass that. The amount of reps I beat last year's, so the amount of clients seen, well, definitely beat last year's because I started halfway through. But with that, this is just a way that I continue to meet New Year's resolutions throughout the entire year. I am not of the 90, I think it's 92% that fail their New Year's resolutions. So, and in fact, Strava, one of the physical fitness apps, calls Quitter's Day. I think it's the second Friday in January, because by that time, usually people's motivation starts to wane and it starts to decrease down, and then we miss our first day or we miss our first 2 days in a row, and then we spiral. Okay. So instead, tracking these things, one of the biggest things is that data doesn't lie. It's going to tell you the truth. If I saw 6 clients and I wrote down that I saw 6 clients, that's great. I did that, right? If I wrote down a big fat 0 for missing a workout, it doesn't lie, right? But on top of that, it also shows me it doesn't change with my feelings either. Right now, do I feel super physically fit? Nah, we just came off of like Christmas break and I've been resting a whole lot and all that. Like, so I don't feel physically fit or healthy. But I have 78,000 plus, right? 78,570 reps for the year in. That doesn't lie to me. I did it. I put in work, and that's awesome. Some more of the ideas and concepts. So James Clear also talks about you do not rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the level of your systems. So like that lose 30 pounds, like I'm not just going to magically be like, I'm going to be there. It doesn't work like that. We fall to the level of our system. If our system says, yeah, I have planned in my week 2 times a week that I'm going to work out. If I have planned in my day that I'm going to make 3 healthy choices each day, right? We're going to fall to the level of our systems that are so small. The reason why it's called atomic habits, number one, atomic is something extremely small, right? But the second definition of atomic is something that has like infinite power, right? Just this explosive energy. And so adding these small little habits can absolutely get us to our goals so much better than just having a lofty goal and not having a plan to go along with it. One thing as a counselor that I tell people quite often is that to me, motivation is a myth. It's a myth. It doesn't happen. And so with that, no, I say it doesn't happen. It happens, but it's just by chance, right? It's more of a gamble than it is something that can be predicted accurately. Instead, I believe that momentum creates motivation. After you do the things, you feel better after, right? Like, has there ever been a workout where you go, oh my gosh, like I regret working out? Probably not. You probably feel proud of yourself afterwards, and you feel as though you did something and you accomplished something. Now, let's take that negative feeling, right? That negative feeling is a heck of a lot louder before we decide to work out. Should I work out today? I don't know. I got some other things going on, right? That happens because that is dependent on motivation, not momentum. If you already have it in your calendar, this is what I do, this is where it's at. You do the thing, and then you get that motivation after the thing is accomplished. Man, I feel really good. In my workouts, I'll do like a lot of rows. I'll do a lot of like stair climbers, those kind of things, as well as, you know, your bench press and all those kind of different reps. But overall, normally I'm hitting 1,000 to 1,500 reps per workout session. So that's awesome. I feel better after. It just is an incredible thing. Let me see what else we have here. That most of the time, again, I don't have like a big goal. I think that's where our New Year's resolutions do tend to fail, is we have this big, giant, lofty goal, and then we feel like a failure if we don't hit it or if we're not on track enough by blank date, all those kind of things. And instead, just having those small, much smaller goals. My goals don't look like lose 30 pounds. My goal looks like plan for the gym twice this week, right? That's a goal. I'm in charge of that. I've planned it. And whenever I do that, like, I think that's just a really great way of meeting the goals. The goals will be met with the proper amount of input. Like, that's just going to be the case. I'm going to do another video on how, on what my New Year's resolutions are, so that you can kind of see some of those. But also do it based on the 8 dimensions of wellness. I am huge into that. That's a lot of what I preach in my Caregiver 2.0 material. And yeah, we'll be seeing you on the other side. Let me know what goals you're planning on doing, and I'd love to sift through it with you on, hey, if you have this goal, like, let's come up with that plan together. Okay? I wish you well, my friends.